Hello and welcome, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you're joining us from. And we are currently live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And so wherever you're watching us from, I invite you to pop in the chat and let us know who you are, where you're joining us from, and what brought you here today. My name is Meenakshi Iyer. I'm your host for today. And today's conversation is around career advancement with specific focus on women in tech, mid-career women in tech. And I'm here to share a little bit more about a program that I've been running for the last 3 or 4 years now. And I have a crew here with me who's going to share their experience of being part of this program. So, what do I do and why am I here talking about this? Well, I'm a technologist turned leadership coach, and I focus on unpacking leadership at the messy middle. And the middle can be a lot of different things. It can be an organizational hierarchy, it can be the cross cultural aspects of our identity, including language. So, what I do as part of my day job is working with technology leaders and helping them uh, polish their leadership skills, leading people and leading change. And I'm also the founder and principal of North Star Solutions and Services LLC, which is a virtual people development coaching and consulting practice. And we have the privilege of serving clients globally because because of the online nature, virtual nature of our business. And I've been doing this for the last 4.5, almost 5 years. So August will be 5 years since I started North Star Solutions and Services. And today's focus is on building my runway, which is a mentorship program. It's virtual, it's global, it's a combination of one-on-one mentorship alongside group coaching. And so it's individual learning and cohort learning. It's a 3 month program. And this was something I launched in 2021. And since then, this program has served 3 cohorts. So it's roughly around, I want to say around 23 people to be exact. And it's focused on mid-career women working in tech and folks, women who also happen to speak English as an additional language, like myself. So, why this design? What's been done in the last 3 years, and why are we here today? To help me dig into all that, I welcome the building a global crew of Building My Runway mentors and mentees. So here we go. Welcome everyone, Lakshmi, Akio, Avinash, and Poonam. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. And everyone that's watching us live right now or will watch the recording, we really appreciate you taking the time and sharing a part of your weekend with us. I do not take any of this lightly. And here we have Lakshmi is joining us from California. It's what, 7 a.m. your time. Avinash is joining us from India at 7:30 your time, I guess. 7,
That's right.
7:30. Yeah. And Poonam and Akio are here in Virginia. And I am in Virginia as well on the East Coast. So it's 10 a.m. my time. So I really would like to kick us off. And I'm going to start with, I'm going in alphabetical order today. So I'm going to start with Akio, really. Akio, if you could quickly introduce yourself. And what I would love to hear from you is what really brought you to Building My Runway? And I know you've been a mentee, you're a graduate of the class of 2023. So tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us what brought you to Building My Runway.
Thank you, Minashi. For some reason, I was going the first one. I was thinking, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go like later, so see how others are people responding, and I'm gonna adjust it. No, like I have to be the first one. For some reason, I knew that. Okay, well, thank you so much. Well, again, my name is Zaki Orano, and thank you, Minashi, for inviting me for this live stream. This is the first live stream I've done, so I'm a bit nervous. So I am a senior agile business delivery lead with 15 plus years of global experiences in driving impactful initiatives, fostering multicultural collaboration, and leading agile transformation across diverse industries such as pharmaceutical, finance, and IT. I have led a team and organizational agile transformations and agile release train resulting in 20 plus process improvement. And I have coached and mentored over 40 plus agile team. And currently, I am an Agile coach for data reporting, Agile release train at the Fortune 100 company. So to answer your question, Minasi, why did I choose to be a part of BMR? Well, I chose to join BMR because I was looking for opportunity to reevaluate my career and find my next directions. After I was in Japan for 3 years during the COVID, leading agile transformation for a pharmaceutical company in Japan, it was really intense. Returning from that, coming back to US, I really needed a time and to just really find myself and look to see what is my next path. Having spent mentoring and also having spent many years mentoring Scrum Master and Agile team members, I also wanted to have experience to being a mentee for change. And this BMR Building My Runway program was perfect for me to really look through, looking at the past, looking at the current, and what I want to do next.
That's fantastic, Akio. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I remember being on some of the virtual events with you showing up from the future while spending some time. So that's great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience. Um, I'd like to ask the same question of Lakshmi, who's been a mentor, who's one of our mentors as part for Building My Runway, and I know you've been a part of this for the last 2 or 3 years, I think. Same question to you,
2 years,
Lakshmi.
I
Tell us a
think.
little bit. Yeah, yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us what brought you to Building My Runway.
Well, really excited to be here with all of you. I'm Lakshmi Ramaseshan, an organizational coach in an organization in Southern California, as Meenakshi said. I don't want to date myself, but I've been in this industry for 20 plus years and played all kinds of roles. And currently, as an organizational coach, my passion is to really cultivate sustainability in organizations, building sustainable people, sustainable teams, and that results in building a sustainable organization. It's something that's my personal passion, to build a sustainable life, and I thought, why not build an organization where people can be aligned to their purpose, not get burnt out, do great work, and yet be healthy at the end, right? So, so that's a little bit about me. But BMR, gosh, I think I am a huge fan of any of the initiatives that you lead, Meenakshi. So I think I said yes because you asked me, and then I realized, wow, like I'm so glad and honored to be part of this journey and to be a mentor for this program, because not only is it a mentorship program, and of course any mentorship program is amazing, but this one is very special because it's curated. It's very specific, and I think one of the favorite things about BMR that I love is how much time that you spend in the mentor-mentee matching to really make it perfect. And I think the mentees that I've been paired with have been a perfect match. I've seen myself in them, and I can see the potential that they have. So I think I love the matching. I love the fact that you spend so much time and energy finding that right match, because that really makes that relationship come alive. The other thing I really love about BMR is the way that you have curated this program with facilitated conversations, as well as learning that really gives the mentee a chance to do more inquiry within themselves. And I think that's the thing that you leave with them. That's the mark that BMR leaves with a candidate, because you can go learn anywhere. You can, there's a million ways you can learn today. But the thing, that one skill that everybody needs to develop for their journey ahead, is being able to continuously reflect, think about where you are and where you want to go, and use some of those tools to really discover what is within you. And that, I think, is the most powerful thing that you leave with a mentee, because that's a life skill. Once you learn that, you learn how to look at yourself differently. So I can go on, and I don't want to hog the time, but those are just some of my favorite aspects of BMR.
Thank you, Lakshmi. And I love that you called out the self-awareness, self-inquiry piece of it. So that has been an intentional. That has been intentional about the design of the program. So this really is some of the things that I've learned on my own journey is that career advancement and career development is really a team sport. As much as we think it's all about us and what we do and all of that, yes, that is a big part, but it's also a team sport. And what by that I mean, there's a whole network of people that's like serve as your scaffolding, and they kind of support you. And I I think it was not until a few years ago that I myself learned the importance of building that network and being intentional about who I'm recruiting into what I refer to as the personal board of directors. I didn't invent that term. I know that term is used a lot in career conversations. So who is in your personal board of directors? And there are several roles. Maybe it's the same person who's serving many of those roles, but there are many roles: coaches, a coach, a mentor, a sponsor, an ally. I even talk about having a financial advisor and a health coach as part of your personal board of directors. And when it comes to us as women, and it's a bit of a general statement, but in my experience, including my own experience, I find that we tend to focus on taking care of everyone else in our lives, be it our teams or our family. I think we kind of, nurturing comes naturally to us. So we invest a lot of time in others, and we often tend to put ourselves. We don't prioritize ourselves as much as we should. And I also think that we focus so much on the doing that we spend very little time on who we are really being, and that's so important as we look to advance in our careers. So I'm so glad you called that out, because that's one of the reasons why this program is a combination of that one-on-one mentorship along with group coaching. So the intention is that every single week of the 12-week program, there is the contact time built in for the mentees. So you either meet with your mentor one-on-one, or you come and meet with the group as a whole, where I facilitate a group coaching conversation, or I bring in guest speakers who do that. The other thing I wanted to call out is that all of the mentors are from my personal network. So that's a way for me, that's my way of paying it forward to other women in tech, to help them, if they already don't have a network, let my network be their first network. So that's how I look at it. And because of that, a lot of the mentors in the program, and I'm going to go to you, Avinash, next, is they are also professional coaches. A lot of them are ICF certified coaches, and in addition to being people, technology, or business leaders, they also are coaches. So most of the mentorship conversations happen from a coaching stance, which is very powerful and impactful for the mentees. So it's not just about talking to you and just downloading advice and guidance. It is also helping you awaken that sense of agency in yourself. And to me personally, that is a distinguishing element of this mentorship program, because there's a lot of mentorship programs out there that are focused on women. Women in Agile runs one, and they're focused on mid-career women. They're focused on mentorship, mentoring women. And this is also a fact that, especially in technology, women are over-mentored and under-sponsored. So I'm very aware of the reality, but this is one of the reasons I strongly believe in the success of this program, is that the mentoring that's offered is offered from a coaching stance. And what I mean by that, to expand on that, I'm going to invite Avinash to go next. Avinash, I think your mic is muted.
Yes, it was. Thanks, Meenakshi. And I'm so happy that Lakshmi and Akio were to go before me. It just makes my job easier, because and you, Meenakshi, you have explained the whole piece so well in terms of the objective of the program and how it is. And I have been incredibly lucky that the experience I have gained over the last 30 odd years, which was mostly uh, creating processes, uh, leading functions, etc. And none of this can be done by not developing teams, not building teams, or not developing your own backups and leaders, etc. Right? So this entire experience, I was really lucky to have been able to distill it and become a life coach, a certified life coach, and that's what I'm doing today. And to be associated with BMR, the reason that I love to be a part of this program that you're chasing is because of the structure. And why I say structure is it's got a very definitive direction of what to expect during the 12 weeks, how it will be done, who will be involved, what are going to be the objectives, need to be identified ahead of time by the mentee, and how the mentee will work with the mentor. The outcomes are kind of broadly defined. So that structure is very nice and firm, yet it allows the two people, the partners, the mentor and the mentee, or the coach and the coachee, to sort of play in that structured playpen you have created, and really explore whatever you need to. And that exploration can be done, and I'll go as far as to say this, that exploration can be done only if you approach it with a coaching mindset, because then both of you are playing. If you
Hmm.
approach it only from a mentor or a mentee approach, then there is a sort of uh, unsaid or unintentional hierarchy that gets built,
Hmm.
right? And in a coach and a coachee kind of a mindset, that there are no hierarchies that exist. It's a
Hmm.
partnership of equals, and that's
Hmm.
what makes this whole piece very very attractive.
Hmm.
And the other reason is when I looked at my own career from earlier, lots of us would say, I wish I had this at that time,
Hmm.
right? I will say the same. But you know what? My outcome, in all probability, would not have been different. I would have still probably done the same. Not probably, I would say pretty much surely I would have still done the same that I'm doing today. It's just that my journey would have been less stressful, with
Hmm.
tremendous amount of clarity to reach this space, and maybe it could have gotten accelerated. That's the
Hmm.
only place where I will say that, maybe it would have been accelerated. So that is the advantage of what we can really do in this BMR program, is explore together and then figure out what to do next. So it's not focused only on your career or only in your situation for that particular lady who's in the tech space and speaks English as an additional language, and is in the United States. It goes beyond that. One of you said it, right? It goes beyond all that. And I think that's the beauty of BMR, and that's why I love to be a part of it. So thank
Thank
you for you know uh, getting your personal network into it, because I'm lucky to have been in your personal network and be here.
thank you so much, Avinash. And I love how you encapsulated the importance of the coaching mindset in these conversations and in this program. And I could not agree with you more. And I loved how you articulated that. And I know this is your third year, right? Being a coach,
Yeah,
being a
yeah,
part of as a mentor. Yeah. I'm so grateful that you've chosen to come back and be a part of this. Uh,
yeah.
Now, I would like to ask the same question of Poonam. So, if you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what brought you to building My Runway. And I know that last year you were paired with Avinash.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's fantastic that you get to speak after that. Go ahead.
Yes, I am so happy, Avinash. You just spoke before me, and all the things that you said, I was resonating it so much because I had been on the mentee side, and of course, I had my reasons to join. But after I joined, absolutely what you said is like the structure had been so helpful, the network, all yours help. I mean, not like say, I wouldn't say that only you were helping me out as my mentor, but Lakshmi and everyone else in the group sessions. So that had been tremendous help. So I will take a quick pause, but I did want to bring up that I'm so glad you all went ahead of me and you all did say and what were the reasons for me to be here. And thank you, Meenakshi, for bringing me on live. This is my first time, and I'm a project lead for the agile project since 15 plus years, and my strength lies in people management, and that's where I saw a lot of gap in different projects. And that was the reason when I saw your BMR program and exactly what everyone said, the structure it was offering, the wide range of the plethora of information, the tools, tips, it explains what it's going to have before I started already. So I found the need for me to be here, and I'm absolutely thrilled. That's why I'm here. All of you women out there, if you are, talking English as a second language, it will be so helpful. And I did find so much value in that. And yeah, there were my reasons to join, and definitely I would vouch for that one.
Thank you so much, Poonam. And while we still have you, the next question I wanted to ask everyone, and let's start with you, is what's that one big shift that you've seen as a result of being part of Building My Runway?
Absolutely. So I think before I joined, I knew the reason I was joining. I could clearly see that I had some complex ideas in my head. And I'm sure Avinash also remembers my main problem was like, how do you communicate to different the groups I was having dealing like interacting with all these ideas, the communication skills I could see they were lacking. And with this program, I could clearly see I would take time when I would fall in that area of making the decisions or conveying some things. I would take a pause. I would make sure I'm using the tools, the tips, techniques, and then I did see the results coming out much better. I had developed the skills. I had definitely learned, from all the one-on-one sessions and the group sessions and all the other things flowing into the program, that how I can just do a better job. And those were the things I definitely found very helpful.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for
Absolutely.
sharing. Yeah. Same question for you, Akio, as a mentee. What was that one big shift that you experienced?
Sorry, I have to unmute myself. Yeah, so the most significant shift due to engagement with BMR has been renewed clarity in my career objective. And by participating in BMR, I really reassess my goals and
Hmm.
identify new opportunity that really align with my passions and strengths, which has led me to more a focused and strategic approach to my career development. So I am now more confident about pursuing my next adventures. And also another significant shift is also meeting with this BMI community really provided me with rich and positive environment for support and learning and growth. So
Mm, that is fantastic. Thank you. Both of you have highlighted a couple of key aspects of the program. One is the one-on-one mentorship, the group coaching, which is the design, and also the global community. So we have a WhatsApp group for the entire global community of Building My Runway that includes mentors and mentees since the beginning of the program. And it's people can come and go as they please. So if you, at any point, if you want to leave the group, you're free to do that. If you want to come back, you can do that as well. So, but it's just like uh, every time a cohort graduates, then they get added to the global community group. And so I have seen people continue to engage even from class of 2021, for instance, and people sharing their wins and new roles or promotions, which are all some of which are directly as a result of them being part of Building My Runway. So it's very gratifying to see that. And then people sharing articles and videos and things like that. So that group continues to be a big part of sort of like the post-program support, if you will. And it is it's designed for people to participate as much or as little as they want or as they can. So it's there whenever you need it. I also wanted to call out, segue into some of the program impact. I wanted to highlight a few things. So in the last 3 years, we've had a total of 23 graduates. Yes, 23 graduates. And more than, I want to say, close to 5 or 6 different countries or nationalities. Mentees have represented more than 5 or 6 different nationalities, and close to 5 or 6 different languages other than English. Those are the primary languages of the mentees. So it's really focused on people that, like most of us here, that speak English actually all of us here, that speak English as an additional language. And the reason for that, and I'm quite adamant about that, is because in my experience, my own experiences as a professional and then as a leader and now as a leadership coach, I find that majority of learning and development and professional development opportunities and literature and content is designed with a native speaker of English in mind. I'm a trained English as a second language teacher, and that has influenced the rest of my career and what I do today. A lot of us who speak English as an additional language, meaning that we don't generally speak it at home, that's not what we were raised with, we code switch at work. And those of us that work in environments or live in countries outside of our country of birth, our experience is very different. And there's a lot of unspoken emotional labor that we take on that does not get its rightful place and space in conversations in corporate worlds. I can definitely speak for corporate America. And so I'm intentional about that because when you speak more than one language, you have a primary language and then you're thinking and speaking and operating in a different language. There is a lot of work that we have to do to be successful. And not a lot of professional development programs account for that. And I wanted to make sure that Building My Runway offers that space. So I'm also intentional in picking mentors. So it's, like I said, everybody's from my network, and I continue to add people, bring people into the mentor pool of mentors. As and when I expand my own network, I then bring people in. But I focus on 2 things primarily. One is I intentionally want to bring in as many male mentors as possible. 1, and I'll get to the reason why. And 2, I also wanted to be as cross-cultural as possible. So there's a lot of us that, even if we are, a lot of us are of Indian origin, for example, but we either have lived and worked in different countries or now live outside of India, as an example. So the reason why I want to have as many male mentors as I can is, 1, this is one of the ways in which I want to move the needle on gender equity. So as much as women's only groups are effective and helpful for us as women to have safe spaces where we can openly share our hopes and aspirations and concerns and grow from advice from each other, it's also important that if we have to really build an equitable workplace, we have to do the work together. We cannot exclude men from the conversation. And so this is my way of ensuring that the mentors and mentees have that experience of engaging with one another in a generative way. And 2, it's a great way to build empathy for the other sex. and what their experience in the workplace is. So that's my intention behind the design. And the other piece about cross-cultural is that, well, especially as of the last 2 years, India, everybody's courting India, and India is really rising in terms of our, we have the world's largest talent pool, we have the world's largest population of employable folks in that age group and all of that. So it becomes all the more important that we understand how to work across geographical boundaries and across cultures and things of that nature. So those are some of the things that I want to bring to the design of building my runway, and in the way that I can make it possible. So I just wanted to throw that in. And before I move on in the conversation, I also want to share that some of the wins that past mentees have experienced. So we've had people receive promotions. So at least 2 of the mentees got promoted in the organization they were a part of. One of them got a new role, a completely new role. One of them got a new job. All of this happened while they were in the program or just after they completed the program. And last year, there was one of our mentees received a special recognition within their company. So they got like an employee award. There was another person who found a new role. And I want to make it clear that these are outcomes that the mentees create for themselves by putting in the work that they do. The mentors, the coaches, our guest speakers, this whole scaffolding of building my runway community is there to support them, but it's the work that they put in. So I want to make it really clear. So yes, I celebrate these wins as the creator of the program, but I want to make sure that credit goes to the people, the mentees themselves. And that's the reward that you as a mentee get for choosing to invest in yourselves and then being adamant about it. So that's very gratifying, and I'm so happy to share some of these wins today. I also want to, if anyone has just joined us and you are watching us live on either LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, welcome. And we are talking about Building My Runway, which is a virtual global mentorship program offered, which I created in 2021 and have been offering it through my coaching consulting practice at North Star Solutions and Services. And so far, we've had 3 cohorts, and class of 2024 applications are open at the moment. We have about 3 or 4 more spots remaining. Applications close on Monday, July 15th, and the program starts August 10th, Saturday, August 10th. So if you're watching, and if you're a mid-career women in tech, working in tech, currently employed or not, does not matter. In fact, we've had some of our mentees who were in between jobs, and the reason they joined was because they wanted to find a job. So you don't have to be currently employed. 8 to 15 years of industry experience. If you can live anywhere in the world, speak English as an additional language, you're welcome to apply, and we'd love to have you in the class of 2024. These are small cohorts, so not more than 8 maximum, or maybe 10 if you get to it. And it's a combination of one-on-one mentorship and group coaching. Yeah. So welcome. And if you're going to catch the recording, thank you for doing that. So with that, I want to now go back to Lakshmi. What's the one shift that you've seen, Lakshmi?
I would say, I think ever since I experienced BMR and the gift that you're sharing with the world, I feel like I'm always on the lookout for the best BMR candidate. So I'm looking at my organization in a different way, and I'm constantly, when I come across people, and I'm like, I think she'll benefit from BMR. I'm constantly thinking about that. So I feel like it's top of mind.
Yeah.
Because people development is something I'm really passionate about, and I wish, similar to what Avinash said earlier, like I wish I had something like this when I was early on in my career. And it's such a gift to have somebody that can help you discover what you don't know about yourself. And I think that's the gift that BMR provides. So for me, it is the thing that's shifted is I'm now always on the quest to find BMR candidates. So
Thank you. And you did that last year for us, so thank you. I really, really, really appreciate your support. Yeah, thank you.
no,
How about
I
you?
need
Yeah,
to think of new ideas because it's not working well enough.
thank you. How about you, Avinash?
There are several shifts, but I would like to speak of maybe a couple of them. Uh, One thing which I found was uh, I'm just pausing so that I can get my words right. You never know when you shift from a coach to a coachee, and the coachee becomes a coach for a little while,
Hmm.
right? And when and see, you're a human being at the end of the day. We are trained and we are advised, we advocate that, uh, be with the client, be present with them, and the focus is them. But yes, it sort of comes, I mean, you do reflect, sometimes you do attach some of those thoughts and dilemmas or situations and try and compare it to your situations too, right? So in that moment you have to go back and be present with the coachee. But in that moment, many a times I have seen what has happened is when the coachee is having a moment of clarity, or a coachee is posing a question, or a coachee is responding to a question that's asked by a coach, without realizing, the mentee or the coachee is playing a role of a coach to the person like me who's a mentor in this, and you get to sort out some of the situations for yourself. So in my interactions, whether it was Poonam or whether it was one of our earlier mentees, there were one or two instances where I got clarity for my situation, which I never realized that, you know I was having that. And this is similar to what Lakshmi said, that it's about you becoming aware of yourself. So that's one thing which I found as a shift.
Hmm.
And initially I kind of stopped myself. I said, is this the right thing or not? Then I said, you know what, it seems to be serving, let's go with it. I'm getting to learn, I'm getting to sort out my stuff, so be it. At the end of the day, everyone benefits. So I stayed with that and I welcomed it. The other thing was a shift in another uh, assumptive manner which I was going into. I prided myself for a while that, you know what, whatever be the gender of the person I'm working with, it's not going to affect me.
Hmm.
And I realized that it's important, because if you don't recognize that, some of these situations we may not be able to associate with. For instance, I remember a conversation about an expression by the coachee lady, s- expressing a challenge around establishing a connect with the team. And when we got into the conversation a little more, I realized, yes, it can be.
Hmm.
Perhaps, and at that moment, I was thinking also from an Indian context where I have worked extensively, but since I've spent lots of time in the US as well, perhaps for a male, establishing that camaraderie or establishing that network effectively outside of the workspace, but with work people, the opportunities can be multiple. And second, when those opportunities come, the tendency to be judgmental is near zero.
Hmm.
But for a woman to attempt to try something similar, the opportunities could be less. And if the opportunities are there, the risk of being judged is higher.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was a dilemma which I said, oh shit, sorry, I used the French word. I said, oh hell, I mean, had I not put that thought away for a while that, gender's not going to impact me, I'm going to treat everyone as sort of gender neutral, if I can use that phrase,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
have lost out on so much.
Yeah.
I just would have lost out on this awareness, right? And this theoretically somewhere you come across it, but it means a whole different thing when you experience it as a awareness in this kind of a session.
Absolutely, Avinash. And thank you so much for calling that out. And that, see, that's the thing, right? Now you have this awareness, which now you have been able to convert to empathy as both as a mentor and as a coach, that then you can extend to others and future mentees in the program. And that's so valuable. And I commend you on not only uh, not only acknowledging that as you experience it, but also sharing it publicly. And I think that's very, very valuable and very impactful. And I hope folks that are watching live and catching the recording, I really hope that they caught this. This is fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. As we begin to wrap up our conversation today, I wanted to ask each of you if you can share one reason why a fellow mid-career woman in tech must definitely apply to the class of 2024. Let me start with you, Lakshmi.
Oh gosh, one thing. So I think I talked about discovering yourself, and that's really the gift that BMR provides to everyone. But I would say, if you're listening, and if you're at a crossroads, or if you just need someone to partner with you and walk the journey with you, just for a little while, so you can find yourself again, I would say really listen to that voice in your head and apply to BMR for this year, because discovering yourself is the most beautiful thing. Once you learn how to do that, you will do that continuously for the rest of your life. So that is the one reason I would say you should not pick up the phone, click on the link, and apply.
Thank you, Lakshmi. I have to say, by the way, when you said pick up the phone, you sounded like one of those TV infomercials that said pick
Right?
up the phone.
That was
Oh,
my whole that was my, like, that's what I was trying to do.
oh my God. Okay, so in that vein, I have to do this. Wait, but there's more, which is this year, all the mentees will, as part of the program, which is included in the program, you will have access to Gallup Strengths, Clifton Strengths assessment, and a one-on-one session of strengths coaching with me. I'm a Gallup certified strengths coach. So that's something that I'm offering as part of the program. So here's the thing, right? So I got certified earlier this year. That had been on my, thank you. It had been on my list for a couple of years. So I got certified, and I said, wow, this is a great opportunity for me to wrap it into building my runway. So that's the wait, but that's more, which is your strengths assessment and a one-on-one strengths coaching with me during the program. And I also want to mention that this program, there is a program admin fee of $75 US. And I know that rate of exchange, currency exchange is not in everybody's favor. So if you are in a position where you think you're not able to afford the admin fee, reach out to me personally. You can leave a comment when you complete the application form, and I'll do my best to find ways to help you. But I will say that the admin fee is just that. It barely covers the admin costs because I am totally self-funded, bootstrapped, and all our mentors are volunteering their time to be a part of the program. all of the coaches, the guest speakers, everybody volunteers their time. So this the fee that you're paying, it helps me with all the tech that I use in the back end to run the program and support all of those expenses. So none of us, including myself, who's part of this program, is financially remunerated for being part of this. So we are all volunteers here. Thank you, Lakshmi, and that was a fun interjection into that as well. Okay, how about you, Poonam? What's your one reason for someone to apply to the class of 2024?
It would be a twofold answer because what Avinash said, it just touched me big time. When you said offering a non-judgment space, and yes, so for me, say I was coming into BMR for one reason. I had thought that I do need to develop the communication skills, and I'll see what the program is there to offer. But what I really found out that there were some areas from my side, and of course, Avinash being a great coach and a great mentor, and all the other things that the program is offering, BMR is offering, I found out that there were other areas where I definitely needed to improve or needed to build my skills, build my strength, and that just happens organically, right? When you are as a mentee, you are offered a safe space through this BMR program. You are talking to your mentor. You are you just have that space to introspect where you are in your life, in your professional, in your personal life, and then you start thinking. You have that thing to pause and reflect that, this is where I need to build more. And it does happen. It's a 3 months program. You are offered these various sessions, and through the BMR engagement, people are offering different tools, tips. It just happens organically. You are in that area, the networking group, where you are able to just build all these skills. So one thing I would like to, based on all these things, what I found myself learned from this program, one thing I would like to, the reason I would like to say others should join is embrace the power of continuous learning, right? Especially the women out there. So many researches, findings, they continuously point out that maybe 20% of women would spend time on themselves, on their self-growth, compared to all the other people out there in different age group, especially the women that we are targeting, the program is targeting. So do take out time to pause, reflect, learn, grow, embrace what's out there. And this program has something which definitely provides, like, say, a huge network, and all the one-on-one things, and so many different things. Everyone had been like, we just built up on this thing so far. So definitely go for it, and you'll definitely find the shift and explore yourself more. I think that's one key that's so important from this program.
Thank you for that, Poonam, and calling out continuous learning and focus on doing that and investing time in that. That's a fantastic call out. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
How about you, Akio?
So one thing I would say is, everybody in any careers, mid, early, late, it doesn't matter. I think there's a time you need to stop and say, look around, say, like, what's next for me? And self-discovery, professional development, expanding your reach. And BMR offers that. So, regardless of what phases you are, take time for yourself because you deserve it, and expand your horizon. And if you're lost currently in your careers, BMR team, our community can help you find your way. If you know your the goals, BMR can help you reach faster. And if you are none of that, still join because you always have something you can learn and also give and to the community, give to the class of 2024 of your knowledge, and you feel appreciated. So I think that is a reason I think people join. And for me, 2023, coming in with my experience, 15 plus year experience mentoring, I wasn't sure what I'm going to learn, but I knew I wanted to learn something. I need to expand my comfort zone. So I joined, and I was, discovered myself and what area I need to be in, and also learn something new that I probably would have not learned it before taking classes. So definitely, I recommend joining BMR to find your way, help you find your way faster, and also self-discovery and giving back.
That was beautiful. I loved how you summarized it in the end. Thank you so much, Akio. I love the two-way street that you called out. You mentees, and that's the other thing, right? Mentorship is a two-way street, and Avinash spoke to that as well. So did Lakshmi. So it's our coaches and mentors learn as much from the mentees, if not more. So I'm so glad you called that out. Thank you. I appreciate that. Avinash, how about you?
I would say neutral, non-judgmental space. Traditionally, your mentorship programs that are available in organizations, you always have an uncertainty or maybe an anxiety that the person that you're going to be mentored by may have a certain degree of influence in shaping your career, your job role, etc. So, would you really be open and wild in your thinking, partnering with that person in thinking along with that individual to build your own runway to take off wherever you want to, right? You may run the risk of that person saying, okay, build your runway to take off in this direction. But in this kind of a neutral, non-judgmental space, you can really go wild and crazy with your thinking in co-creating that particular runway, saying that, okay, this is the runway I want to build and this is where I want to take off. So that's the reason why you should be a part of BMR.
Mm. That's fantastic. And I'm so glad you called that out because that's another piece of the design, right? That several organizations do offer mentorship programs. And exactly to the point that Avinash made, despite all kinds of confidentiality built in and all that, there is always the risk of being judged or being monitored in a way, if you will, if you're doing something within your organization. And for all the reasons that have already been called out in this conversation today, women unfortunately are at a disadvantage when it comes to taking a risk, making mistakes. We are called out more often, and things are held against us for much longer. So society in general seems to have a very long memory when it comes to women, anything that we do or say. And that carries on in organizations as well. So one of the reasons for me to offer and create Building My Runway is to offer that mentorship outside of your organizational setting. So you get the same benefits in a non-judgmental space, like Avinash said. I'm so glad you called that out. That is also intentional. And I also wanted to sort of disprove a hypothesis that mentors have to come from the same industry and from the same company even for the mentees to be successful. So this was my grand experiment to disprove that, to say, well, you don't have to, and you can still have some of the same results. Very, very grateful to my network, my personal board of directors that include folks like Lakshmi and Avinash that helped me carry this on. And we are in year 4 now, and class of 2024 applications are open till Monday, July 15th. So if you're watching, listening, if you're a woman in tech, working in tech, looking for a new role, on a career break, wanting to come back, 8 to 15 years of industry experience, and you speak English as an additional language, check us out. I've put the link in the chat, and I'm going to post it again on LinkedIn and Facebook after this conversation is done. And if you have any questions, you know where to find us. I'm available on LinkedIn. You can check out my website, northstaratwork.com. /building my runway. So that's the page that will take you directly to the program information. Wow, this has been such an energizing conversation. I don't know about all of you, but for me, definitely. And everyone that's watching live, thank you for your time. You've got questions, you can pop it in the chat now. We still have a few minutes to take it, or you can ping us directly. All of us are on LinkedIn. You can find us on LinkedIn. And those of you that are considering or are looking for a generative way to advance your career and take it to the next level, I hope you will consider building My Runway. Before I close out, I would invite each of you to share your parting thoughts. And let me start with you, Poonam.
Even being here, I feel so powerful right now. And I've gone back to my days when I was in the BMR program recently. So I may consider joining it again. So be on the lookout, Lakshmi, Avinash. And parting thoughts are, guys, everyone said so many things for this, but this is just the best way. Women out there, join this program and explore yourself more. Right? Just step above and beyond where you are, and I would just send good energy, and everyone, even if you're not joining now, consider this in the future because so much to offer. Thanks, Meenakshi.
Thank you, Poonam. Thank you. Akio?
Yeah, so my parting thought, you to say it's not what you know and who you know can help you find a job. But it's not you anymore. It's communities. Which community do you belong to? And this BMR community provides you the support, and it help extend their arm when you need it, and guide you to help reach your goals. And this is really positive and diverse group of people who are willing to help. So it's please join, and you will not regret it.
Thank you so much, Akio. And that was wonderful what you said. It's not just about you, it's the community that you're a part of. And that is so valuable. And as our world gets intensely technology driven and tech obsessed, to be honest, in some ways, I think it's the humans that are even more pivotal than we've ever been before. So thank you. Thank you for calling that out. Avinash, what are your parting thoughts?
My parting thoughts, I think this is a platform which can guarantee, and I use my word very, very carefully. It can guarantee that if you ask a question with all earnestness, you will be guaranteed a change in yourself. Best case, you will get to the outcome that you have decided to go to, and the worst case, you will be in the direction of that outcome. That's a guarantee.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I'm so glad I was sitting down when you said that.
No, but truly, that's a guarantee I can definitely make for this platform. Absolutely.
It means so much to me and to all of us here, Avinash. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, Lakshmi, you get the last word today.
Avinash is tough to follow, so I don't know. Now I'm like thinking my thought is not even as good. But
Come
I
on.
would say I would say, if you're out there listening and you feel like you have no time to invest in yourself, we were talking about this as we were prepping for the session, that's when you really need to spend the time, because you will figure out something within yourself. We can all help. We can all mind meld, and you will teach us something about life and how to take that journey. So I know the world is spinning at a faster pace than it ever was, and we have no time for ourselves, leave alone drink a cup of coffee in peace, listen to the birds. Like, I think we've forgotten to do those things. So if you are finding yourself in that place, just join this program, because you will figure out something where you can really bring your life back in balance, because I think that's the thing that we're all struggling with in this world today. Overstimulated with technology, information coming at us from everywhere. And the last thing you have time for is investing in yourself. So that's the first thing you should be doing. So really, really pick up that phone, like I said before, or click the link. And this is not an infomercial. You will not regret it.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi. That was just absolutely fantastic, and I loved the infusion of humor to convey all the seriousness of this topic as well. And so I really, really love that. And thank you all so much for making the time. Poonam, Akio, Avinash, Lakshmi, really appreciate it. And everyone that's watching or will watch the recording, thank you for taking the time. And those of you that identify as women, mid-career, 8 to 15 years of industry experience, and if you speak English, if English is one of the languages, many languages that you speak, consider this. Consider building My Runway class of 2024 as an opportunity for you to help advance your career and also learn those life skills that will stay with you throughout. And the global Building My Runway community that is here anytime you need it. So I really hope you'll consider this. I look forward to seeing you. There's about, as I said earlier, about 3 to 4 spots still available. So we hope you'll consider that. And I want to leave you with this. You are the most important person that you will ever lead, the most important and the most impactful person that you'll ever lead. Lead from where you are with what you have, and lead with your head, heart, and hands. And as was said earlier, that the moment or the phase in life you think you are the busiest and you have no time for anything, that is the time for you to pause and really invest in yourself, sharpen the saw, if you will, so that you are able to deliver and do everything that you're supposed to, that the world is asking of you. You can't pour from an empty cup. So I want to leave you with that, and wish you all the best, and have a great rest of the weekend and rest of the year. Half the year is gone. So hope the second half is as impactful, if not more, as the first half was. Thank you all very much. Take care and be well. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.